Raindrops are falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Hey, y'all, come on in.
We have a soap today from Declaration Grooming.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, well, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, come on in the live chat and meet the Whiff Pack, an awesome group of folks from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we have been showing you some of the blades we have in our den, and today's blade is...
the Astra Greens. I know, I haven't even tried the blues yet, but I love these. These are more the budget-minded razor blades, coming in at under $10 on Amazon for 100 of them. Beautifully sharp and smooth and efficient. They used to come with the Henson Mild. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is After the Rain, and actually tonight is daylight savings. So I feel like spring is actually finally here.
Ooh, and it's gonna rain, y'all. Let's come along. All right, y'all, from the sales page at declarationgrooming.com.
After the Rain was the second scent we ever released, and it is very near to our hearts. Like a walk through a forest after a spring shower. With notes, should we say this?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, we have wet pine, muted lavender, cedar, and white pepper.
Y'all, I love it when scent notes have adjectives because it means that a little extra work was done there. And y'all, if you are in the wet shaving world, you know that petitgrain and all kinds of interesting things are often used to help create that sense of rain on leaves. And it looks like we might have stumbled upon the Declaration Grooming offering of such things.
But theirs actually lists spring shower, so I'm curious what adds that spring side to
Ooh,
it.
a little florals with a recent rain, maybe? Well, we'll know when we take it out of the box. Well, y'all, sometimes when it's the third one of the box you bought, the note's long gone. The packaging materials are long gone. But this little beauty remains, y'all, so come along. We're gonna have a rainy first impression. Ooh, pine, lavender, cedar. And you know what's funny? I thought we were going to get a lot more pine when we entered the wet shaving world, but I think Autumn Woods from Sunlard is the only other pine one that I can think of. Douglas fir is a Douglas fir.
Yeah, I'm curious because adding that next to those other scent notes and knowing that it's kind of supposed to be spring, I am just more intrigued than anything.
Well, having grown up in California, I love pine. Like, it's such a beautiful note, almost an apple. Mm-hmm. All right, take it in, see what you get.
I guess I'm going first. All right, y'all. Here we go. Here's our pour for those who like to see.
Very nice.
I do love that this still looks like real tape that was just stick on the label. It's a fun thing.
Sometimes it is with Persephone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Our very second episode was Sonnet Lumiere from Declaration Grooming.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Yeah? What do you got?
If this was your second scent, y'all, that's impressive.
There's a reason they're still around. What do you got?
So it's funny. I was really trying to save this for April because I thought April showers after the rain, but I'm glad we snuck this in early because there is something really uplifting about this. It does feel like it had just rained and like the next day it's wet, but the sun's out a little bit. Like it does have that spring hit. I wouldn't have known right away that it was pine, but the wet pine is for sure here. Right. And the lavender just melts with it almost immediately. Like they become their own scent somehow. Nice. It's kind of magic in the tub, my friends.
Love it.
I can't tell what the other parts are in there.
Gotcha.
But they all make that whiff so enjoyable. Like I feel like I am walking through the woods and I just don't want to stop inhaling.
Right. So you think there's more than those 4 scent notes?
I don't know what they are, but they are creating that walk in the rain, post-rain kind of feel to a T.
Nice.
Like I wouldn't change anything that's in here. It's an all-encompassing scent. It's not that it's super strong.
Right.
It's just everything intensity-wise to me is matched perfectly. Like a lot of times we say certain scents pop out more than other.
Right.
This one is just like it's a complete landscape painting and you are right in the middle of it.
Nice. Now saying rain on the label, petitgrain, petrichor, where we sitting? Are those in here or is it done differently?
You know, I almost got more of an image, like we're pretty close to the coast,
right.
And sometimes the fog creates that kind of wetness. Even though if it's not completely post-rain, it's still wet outside.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's more that scent.
Gotcha.
It's not like fresh rain when it first hits. It's completely wet already. So it's more the post-rain side, I think, because of that I'm getting.
Right, so more of a dewy smell than like a petrichor smell.
Right. It's everything's completely damp.
Right.
It's not in between. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we are now almost to the drying portion of the weather phase.
And thank you for not saying the word moist. I hate when people say moist. Moist.
I could almost even get like a really luxurious spa.
Yeah?
Like, I think, sometimes how lavender is done,
Right.
this listed muted lavender, and there's something about feeling like I'm actually holding the lavender plant itself.
Yeah.
It's super fresh
Right.
here. So I think that's another reason I think I'm outside, and that spring side is hitting. But it's luxurious, y'all. Like, if I was walking through the woods, I would not want to walk home. I'd want to keep going. It just smells lovely.
So you know how when you've had spaghetti for 9 nights in a row, the 10th night, you don't exactly feel like spaghetti, even though you got nothing against it? Right now, my nose is like, we have been doing so much citrus lately. Is this another citrus? What do you got?
I think you're safe. I think the brightness and stuff that's coming through here is not done with any of the citrus side.
I long for a pine. I long for a floral. All right, pass
I
it
think
over.
this
Let me
might
see
be
what I can
it.
find
Let's
in
see.
here. All right, shake and clap.
Get that whiff ready.
Oh, it's lighter. It's cleaner than I thought it would be. Ooh, hold on.
Yeah, less dirt kind of smell, I guess.
Oh, wow. Okay, y'all, generally with a pine scent, and even with the other things swirling around in here, there are base notes that take it down, that ground it, that give it spice, that give it wood, that give it girth. This does not have that. So even though you're reading pine, even though you're reading pepper and things like that, this does not have a bassy side. If you were listening to this as a choir, it's your altos and sopranos. Oh, this is lovely. I have to approach this in a new way, because I was thinking this is going to be evergreen. This isn't evergreen. This is what it says on the label. This is specifically after a rain. Oh, this is nice. Hold on.
I think that's why I got an image of sunlight. Like there's just something kind of uplifting and bright about it.
And we got to talk about our magic scale right now, because I know those scent notes,
Right.
but the way they are coming together in here is a totally new character and personality that I get to meet almost as if this was a dupe of an EDP oil or something like that. It's just got its own character in here. And yet it's a mellow and friendly one. It's not a bossy scent at all. No. You get to be the boss when you wear this. Wow, hold on. And you know what's funny? All of that stuff is coming together to create what bergamot usually does in my head.
True.
Coming together to make something sweet and clean and familiar, but it's not being done with citrus.
Nope.
But y'all, it's the same neighborhood. You know how when they take dice and they put them all together and you step back, it looks like Marilyn Monroe? It's kind of that. Somehow, it's that bergamonty sense without it being bergamot. Ooh, okay, hold on. And this is a very sweet spring rain. I am not even finding that floral. Hold on a second. Let me see how they're using it. It's not the dry bracing part at all, which is where most barbershops are doing business. This is in that subtle, candied, sweet heart of the lavender, and it's only turned up a little. Reverb is a magical thing in music, but if you turn it up to the point where you can pretty much hear it, you've spoiled it. There are some ingredients that are just meant to be vaguely sensed, and that is how this one is swirling around in here. Beautiful. Wow, not what I was expecting at all.
But if you put that on a crowd-pleasing scale, like that's just right up my alley.
8 or 9?
Yeah.
Like beautiful. There are no bracing edges to this.
No.
There are no squinchy pokies in this anywhere. I just kind of see a big surface of glass on top of a frozen lake. Ooh. My nose just keeps trying to find the edge where the scent ends, and it's usually somewhere in the bass notes, but this doesn't. This just turns into an echo and fades away. Whoa, this is doing stuff that I have not experienced the Shave Soap scent to do yet. This is very cool.
Right, that's what I said. I don't want to leave the woods. If it smells like this, I want to just keep walking around.
Into the woods and home before dark. And y'all, it is time to build a lather with this miraculous creation. This is my Dark Nebula bowl from KUN, and these are its octopus arms, as Melinda calls them. This is my Foxy brush from AKA from Amelia and Gardner, and it's got a beautiful cashmere knot on it. It's almost like a cosmetic brush knot, and I would have thought water would have done something nasty to this knot, but it doesn't. It's amazing, and it gets all floppy and fun. And these are the sticks so we don't contaminate our soap. Do you want to do the honors? Let me know how bite back to that stick there is. Oh, I
it's,
see.
Yeah. Not too heavy. A nice little light bite here.
And then we're going to push the soap into the octopus arms to the point that it's a smooth surface. So the brush doesn't actually pull up any chunks. So it kind of looks like that. Like it's not even coming up on my finger anymore. And it's okay if it gets a little thin. The object is to get the soap onto the bristles. This is our bougie sprayer from Sean and Julie, and we're just going to let some water hang out there at the bottom of the bowl. We're going to wet the soap and the top part of the bowl so that the brush is not coming at it completely dry. It's got a little bit of moisture there. And then what we're going to do is just very gently start going forwards and backwards with the tips of the bristles. Start to push down just a little to see what the backbone knows. And then you're going to notice that the soap has stopped making its way onto the brush because those bristle parts are full. Well, what you want to do is rotate the brush 25%, gives them a new orientation. And look at that. More soap starts jumping up into the bristles. And then, why not? It's a big day. Do it again. Turn the brush 25%, and even more of that soap is going to disappear onto the bristles. You can really see it in this bowl. This is kind of known as their head shaver bowl. And this is the Evel Knievel part for the dog. Watch this. I'm just going to go down and grab the rest of that water, and it's going to kind of disappear up onto that soap. It's kind of like a sponge. And then you take that brush back to the bowl, back to the legs, back to the face, or, well, anywhere you don't want hair. I might even say there is a citrus in there. I'm even sensing a tiny hint of a lemon or a bergamot under the surface of this. If it's not, how the rest of them are coming together.
Add some water and some magic happens sometimes.
And y'all, this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the April showers bring May flowers with. 1, 3, 1, 2. I don't even think of it as a forest. I almost feel like Munchkin Land or something like that. It's somewhere mystical and fun.
It's funny because usually anytime I think of being in the woods, at least most of the soaps that we've had have like something kind of like scary in the wood, like that darker, deeper side really takes over, which it works for those soaps. But there's something about this one without it having that bassy floor to it.
Right.
It just really is inviting. It's almost like a little hug from the woods somehow.
That's why you saw sunlight. 100%.
I must have. There's just something like, instead of it diving down, it's in those deep greens, but then it comes up from there.
Right. You know, in the original Snow White movie, not the remake, where she sees the Dwarf's little cottage for the first time and the sunlight is like streaking through and lighting it up like a Christmas tree. That's what this makes me think of. It's almost like a fairy tale scent for me.
It does have that charming side. Like, I feel like all ages would still enjoy this.
Do you know what May flowers bring? Pilgrims. And yeah, when we do watch our shave trooper, we can't watch him lather his face because he's got his helmet on, so we're going to have to do it for him. We're going to show you how this looks when it lathers the moneymaker. Y'all, are you kidding me? Beautiful, safe, protective, fluffy, and right where I need it to be. Oh, lather it up. Absolutely. How's it feel?
My turn. Oh, you're right. The cashmere brush. I haven't used this bad boy in a while. It is fancy.
No, does it feel good?
There is like a really different foamy portion that I'm feeling here that I forgot about. And there's no menthol in this, but I swear there's some kind of a natural cooling effect that's happening here.
I don't know about you, but even though there's only 4 or 5 of them, I want to take another look at these scent notes. Y'all, the pine is there just enough to make my brain see a brilliant color orange.
Maybe the sun or something coming through?
Something. All right, back to the sales page at Declaration Grooming.
After the Rain was the second scent we ever released and is very near to our hearts.
I know, very cool.
Like a walk through a forest. I think that's why I'm getting green too. After a spring shower. Very specific. So here's the notes. Ready? It's wet pine, not just pine.
Right.
And that makes a difference.
It does, right. That's why it's more daylight. That's why it's more morning, I think. I'm getting the dewdrops in the morning.
And it does change the scent.
Yeah.
Where some of our pine stuff that's more Christmassy or any tree-oriented stuff, those are drier bristles sometimes.
And then muted lavender. Y'all, you know how in the last 9 soaps we did that had lavender, it's more the dry, bracing, almost clean laundry part of lavender? This is the other way. Now, the thing about it, the singer that's left is the quietest singer, but it's the sweet, candied heart of the lavender that in a general whiff is not that prominent, 5 to 10%. But here it's been isolated just to give a little bit of sweet to this without it really being recognizable as floral. And then continuing on.
See, there is cedar. And again, I think it keeps it from getting too dark. It just keeps it on that brighter side.
And the cedar is mixing with the white pepper to give me the sense of pencil shavings in the 2nd grade. That's how the cedar's being used. It's almost like the cedar is the imaginary bark on the pine tree. The wet pine are the needles on the ground. and the lavender is the rain.
And I think the white pepper, it's just still a little cool outside. It's
Right.
not warm enough yet. It's just now starting to be spring.
Right.
But there's something that's just cool in the air, and that's the white pepper.
And the coolest part of the two sweets, my brain just showed me the secret. You know what it is? There are two halves of the sweet, and
Okay.
each half is not sweet enough to register as sweet on its own.
Yeah.
So when you smell this and that sweetness washes over you and your brain goes, oh, is that sweet the pine, or is it the lavender, or is it the pepper, or is it the cedar? It's all four. And each one is adding just a whisper of sweet so that when you can barely make out the words, it's actually all four of them adding.
All right, after all of those lovely scent notes, I think we should go deeper into the forest.
All right, so one of our commenters the other day mentioned that they like it when we start to describe where you might wear this or where it reminds you of. Where are you taking this?
Ooh, interesting. Okay, from the images I got on my first whiffs,
Right.
I thought that would be starting the day. Like there's something about like if you were in the cabin in the woods and you walked outside.
Right.
But now that I'm whiffing this more, I think I would want to take this when I need to like calm down and just have quiet in my mind. Like there's just something like going on a walk in nature. There's something about this scent that I would want either before bed or something that if everything is chaos that day and I just need a pause button, this might be where I grab this.
You know what else is awesome? This would smell fabulous with coffee.
Yes.
So when I get up in the morning and I'm heading down to Starbucks for my latte, this would be a fabulous friend to take with me.
Yeah, there's just something calming and uplifting at the same time. I don't
Right.
know how to bring that across, but I think that is what you feel after a spring shower. Like cleansed and ready for a new season. The sun's out. Like there's just something that's really coming through on a scent note with that too.
Or just on days when I need to feel clean. Maybe it's the day after I got back from camping and I haven't had a shower for 5 days. It's just that. It's just going to add to that beautiful sense of a neutral, mellow clean on your shoulder.
Like you just want to take your time with this scent.
Right.
So you want to have time using this one, I think. I don't think I'd want to rush through this shit.
Yes, it's not bossy. This is not pushing you to hurry up your day. We were talking to the Shave Dad today. There are just certain scents that absolutely have a gender because one gender usually vibes toward tobacco or lilacs. But generally, scents, especially when they're in a musical symphony like this, do not have a gender on their own. I don't even know if I would necessarily call this unisex. I would just call this a beautiful outdoor day.
I'm with you. Yeah. Anyone who wants to adventure off into the woods after a spring shower, you will enjoy this.
And not so much nature that it becomes artificial.
Right.
I don't know how better to say that, but sometimes for me, when you keep turning up pine, I know that that's a pine scent, not a pine tree. But y'all, these are in exactly the intensity that we're going to experience the trees on our walk today. So for those of you that do spend time in nature, this is going to sing to your soul. Do you almost get like a wet stone? Even in there as well. If we are to find a bass note, my brain is just searching for bass notes. And
I think if I smell what you're thinking, I think it's the muted lavender meeting the white pepper. Like it's not quite charcoaly or stone, but it's close. And I think it's just how they're interacting, overlapping maybe.
And you know what the cedar's doing? When I separate it from the pepper, do you sense a wet cedar? I don't think it's just the pine.
Ooh, interesting.
I know,
I think my whiff starts off with the pine and then it cools off a little bit, and that must be the cedar jumping
My
in.
brain can't find bass notes, so it's inventing them, I think. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Debbie Reynolds filming Singing in the Rain, and when you can't actually make it through some of the vocal phrases that they need you to be able to sing for the movie, the actress who's playing Lena Lamont is actually going to step up and dub them for you in one of the greatest twists of irony in the history of the American cinema, and you're going to get your own. So head over to declarationgrooming.com where you can find this and a ton of other stuff I want. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with After the Rain. And you know why I love this? As a kid that grew up camping in the rain, when's the last time you saw a rain scent in the shaving soap world that wasn't petrichor? They've cracked the code. It truly does feel like a dew-filled morning, but without that dried leaves sense. Craig, I bring you glad tidings of great joy. And I was thinking about what to say about the lather, and it comes down to this. Whenever I mentioned the 9 or 10 people who I told this week that I shaved with After the Rain, they all started the next sentence with, "Isn't that a great base on Declaration Grooming?" Yeah, it is. Welcome to Messages.
So for our March giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to make Duff Soap Company.
And it's in Canadian dollars. How cool is that? All you have to do is send us an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here on our first April episode, after the rain, to see if you are a lucky winner.
Best of luck. I think the other thing that I get from this, if you could pretend you're a little kid and you got your umbrella and your rain boots, and there's even a picture of Marcus doing this, but jumping in puddles right after the rain. There's something about being a kid and that excitement that's coming through in this scent.
Yeah, the Bay Area flooded once in the late 70s, and there was a photographer from the local newspaper out in front of Long Strugs, and he asked my mom if it would be okay if I jumped in a giant puddle, and he photographed it. And imagine our surprise when we woke up the next morning, and on the cover of the West County Times was this 4-panel photo shoot of their little kiddo jumping in this puddle, and if I can find it, I'll put it here. Declaration Grooming, I know you were the second soap we ever covered on this channel, and we are so grateful because it helped show us from the very beginning the width and breadth of this community and everything these artisans were doing. Incredible. And this one, not being a crazy outside the box scent, I love it when you started simple and just dug straight down to find your inspiration and cleverness, because this is a truly beautiful soap.
I did not realize that this was their second scent when we bought it. So it's cool that it's still available, that you can get it now. It obviously means something because it has been on their schedule since they started.
Well, when melodies are this pretty, they can't ever really go away forever.
So what should we get next from Declaration Grooming? Everybody put a little comment in there because we need a
few
new
of
one.
their fans in the whiff pack.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell more rainy just watching this.